Okay, so we're setting up the system and we're going to make sure that we don't blow up any speakers. So we're going to turn on the board first and then we're going to turn on the amp. You come over here and turn on this board. Remember where your button is there, right next to the power inlet. She pushes that and then go in front over there again and log in. Current login is 1234. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and okay again, and you're in. Okay, now you're going to go up and turn on the amplifier. He's going to follow you. Will you tip it up so that you can see the face of it? Mm-hmm. Right hand, maybe? It's heavy. I'll hold it. Okay, let him see that amplifier, what you're doing there. Go ahead. Wait for it to stop blinking. There we go, we're in. Okay. Now we're ready to make music or create. Okay, while we're back here, what I haven't done, the only thing that we have done is we've plugged in the amplifier. What we haven't done is plugged in the sources that you're currently using today, which is your wireless microphone and your music. Okay, let's do that as well. And we're going to plug in your Wi-Fi. We'll talk through that as well. So here's the XLR for your microphone, which we'll plug into number 1.
And this was ours?
Yep, well, Tony sent me along with some so that they are yours. Okay. I understand. Okay, now while we're back here, let's plug in the music. I'm going to have you put that in 16, so it's opposite side of the board. And while you're back here, normally we would have done this earlier, but I forgot, so we're going to do it now. This is a standard network cable, and it's for the Wi-Fi, so we can attach the iPad to it. This goes in right there. Let him see that as well. There you go. Perfect. You see how it starts lighting up? Starts talking to that thing. Normally we would turn that on and have that connected when we fire up the board. The nice thing about this one is it's you don't have to do it in that sequence, but it's probably always best. All right, now let's test everything that we plugged in. So let's test your microphone first, and these are your microphones. And just to follow our chain of thought here, you see me tapping on that, you can see the signal there, and you can see the signal here, right? So what we want to do is we never want to really see that red light happen. So if I crank this up too much, it's going to take a lot. Hey, see that red light come on? We don't want to see that. That creates distortion.
Feedback.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey! Wow. Hey! I can completely distort this at any time. We don't have to play around with that. Check, check, check. So we'll figure that out.
Or maybe they have to be
We'll have to
further
do some
away.
gain structure. Maybe this thing's juiced up pretty hot or something. But we'll come back to that.
Or are we just
Yeah. So I would take your loud voice and just yell into your mics and make sure you're not in the red. All right? So now, to be able to mix into your speakers and your amplifier that we've already done, I'm going to fade this up a little bit. I'm going to put the master here. So this strip, the white section right here, that's called unity. Unity. It kind of gives you a visual representation of the safe zone, if you were. So we're going to build your system in a safe zone so that you know that you could push up any of these faders into that safe zone and you're not going to get feedback or too loud or too small of signal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So since we haven't really done that with this input, check, check, check. I'm going to fade this up nice and slow. Check, 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 check. So I can go in there, but it's a little loud and it's right on the edge of feeding back. You hear that? But so we're going to have to figure that out in this device and get that so it's not so hot that we can peak it out. But we'll do that later. The other option would have been in this small setting, I go up to the amplifier and I turn that amplifier down. Remember, I showed you that 12 o'clock setting? You could go back down to, you know, like 9 o'clock or something and probably get rid of that problem. So there's
now,
always
does each mic have a different
Yep, a different input. This box that you've purchased has 2 outputs in it, so you have 2 microphones that you can put in it. And we've got one in there today just for demonstration. She's also connected music. So if you play us some music or one of your effects or something.
Put a Christmas song on.
Oh, geez, we are definitely
holiday.
Well, I'll let you fade that up a little bit and let's see.
And it's 16,
Let me check
right?
that real quick. I'm gonna take that down.
16 is where you're plugged in, isn't it?
I'm gonna show you something that's really cool.
It's on.
It's okay. We're watching it. So you see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
That is showing you the meter level, a better representation of what you're seeing here. So normally I want to see that input from her. See how it's starting to turn yellow?
Yeah.
I like yellow, but I don't like red. See how that peaked out where I was way up there and all these things turned red?
Yes.
That we don't want. I like a little bit of yellow if I can get it.
You want it on the edge.
That really depends on her device. It could be, one song could be really loud, one song could be really soft. So when we mix all of those on her device, it'd be nice.
Did you have to hit this on?
Yeah, I did, and that's another thing I was going to show you. That select button right there, that's how you get to see or mess with the EQs and all the different settings on each individual channel. So right now, the select button is selected on the music channel.
16.
And I'm going to go back to this mic channel. Hey, you see how we're pretty good right there. We're in the yellow. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Check, check, check. But I can hit it. Hey! If I yell in it, I can still clip it. So we'll deal with that later. But that select button gave me access to this screen, and we'll talk about all that stuff that's in there later.
Okay.
So let's hear her music. So
Yeah.
it's still playing? You know how you can check
So
that?
her music is connected to here.
No,
Nope.
actually it's on its own
connected
own
to
number
input.
16.
And how I can tell that music is playing, because I see meters here, right? And then I can select that button, and now I see the music up there. Now you can fade that up a little bit. Let's see how loud it is. This one, 16. Nice and easy. Keep going.
Oh, I like this song.
She likes this song. All right. Now let's say you you got the music where you like it and you wanted to mix in a little microphone over the top of that. Check 1, 2, check. This Christmas song is brought to you by, can you hear the music? Can you hear me talking on it yet? Keep going. Keep on going. Check 1, 2. This Christmas song is brought to you by what you're mixing right now. Okay? That's the basics of mixing. You got it down.
You're the
Pretty
expert
good, huh?
now.
All right. So any questions up to this point? We turned this thing on, we turned the amp on, we made music.
Okay. So this is actually hooked up
To
to
the
that.
microphone, yeah.
An input on the back of
And
the,
just like if we had multiple mics or wireless mics, each mic would go into a different channel.
correct.
Or
So-
4 mics, each mic would
So
be
the
in a
mic
different-
is wireless, but you still need to have that hooked up.
Yeah, that receiver has to receive from this wireless mic, and that needs a mic cable or an XLR cable to get into the board. Okay?
And it
So-
didn't actually give us that when we got the.
Yeah, he sent me over with some. So I don't know if, do you remember, did he tell us if they're going to keep those mic cables and stuff?
Probably
I
at
think
this
so.
point, yes.
Merry Christmas. We'll make the call. Okay, so
Does he look like Santa?
I'm feeling like it because
Yeah.
you keep telling me
Yeah.
that I'm there and the music's got us going. Now, let's, now that we've tested and we know that the system's working, let's work on our iPad control.
Okay.
Okay, so your iPad, this is yours. I'm gonna clear out what I did. Oh, can you get this back in?
Yes,
there?
I can.
Can you film that so I never have to do that again? Just kidding.
If you can remember 2016,
Okay.
you'd be fine.
2016. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna shut this Wi-Fi off so it won't automatically connect, just to confuse you even more. Okay. So now what we're doing, and we need this camera to see what we're doing here. So go ahead and log back into your iPad.
Nope. I'm still learning how to use it myself, so
That's okay. So
it's already logged in, I think.
it might be come up. There you go.
Oh.
Now you got to do your.
Can you tell I'm more an Android person? Yeah.
That's okay.
PC.
All right.
forgive
Now,
you.
so what we're trying to do is we're going to connect your iPad to this mixer board.
Okay.
There's an app on here that we need to connect to it, and we also need to connect the Wi-Fi of this iPad to this Wi-Fi device. Okay. So in here, normally you wouldn't be looking at this. I'm going to get rid of this so that you don't see it. Okay. Do you know how to get to your
I
Wi-Fi?
think settings,
Yeah. So you're going to click settings
and then turn this on.
and then hit Wi-Fi and turn that on.
No, I could,
There. Yeah. You just got to tap it. I
if it's
think.
going to let me.
There you go. Now let that populate.
And show me the networks that are available.
Yeah. And because it's an Apple product, it's probably going to try to attach to what it knows works. See how it did that? It knew that worked before, so it just reconnected. And that's a good thing.
And is that what that is?
Yeah, and look here. We'll see the name of this?
Media Link.
Media Link, and there's the code, and it's Media Link, and it's already done the connection.
Because you
We
already did
it
the
earlier.
password.
Yeah.
The password.
So you shouldn't have to do that again, but if you do, you know that you just got to reestablish a connection. So now you can close that, and you can go to QPad or QU. Now turn that sideways, and do you see QU16 right there?
Yep.
That's the current name of this console. So you can hit connect, and then hit your admin, and you remember your numbers,
1, 2, 3, 4.
and then OK. And now, whatever I do here, it does it there. You see that? You are now in control of this board.
Although I can't see the
Boom,
16.
Marla, the power, the
I know.
power.
Now
I
here-
can't see 16 right
The beautiful thing about Allen Heath, above a lot of other boards, most of them you can't do that. You actually have to go up here and pick where you want to go. QU decided not to do that. They said, we're just going to let you slide it back and forth. So there's your music. You see that? So I can actually turn that music up here. And that
But it'd be
mic-
hard to do at the same time with 1 and 16. You probably want to do it like
Well,
1 and 10.
I'll show you later. Something we can talk about later is this custom button. This custom button, I can actually put
Whichever number?
Yeah, all of the faders that you use for a show
One
right
view.
there on one view. And then some of them you can tie together so that when I do this, it does it the other ones as
It'll
well.
go, it'll.
Because I have long piano fingers, but not that long.
That's all right. Okay, we are totally connected. We're hearing music. We're doing things.
So the board stays where the board is, and then
Yeah.
we could have the board wherever the board is, and then
board could
Angela can just use the iPad.
Board can be backstage. The reason why I would say backstage is because all maybe your local music or inputs need to be on the stage and not out here. So this could having this up on the stage could reduce the length of the cables that you need, right? So you could put this anywhere, and you can take this anywhere as well. Like I said, you could walk outside of this building a half a block away and still be able to control everything.
So we could put the board potentially behind all the furniture.
Yeah.
I mean, in the corner somewhere where it's
Might as
safe.
well be close to the amplifier.
Where it's safe, and then have Angela back here.
There are rack ears for this. You could probably rack that into that if you needed to, but it's up to you. We'll talk about that later.
Rack? What's rack?
That black rack that's got the amplifier in it, it's got a slant on the top of it, which is designed for a mixer to sit on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be heavy, I think, in that box. Between the mixer and that amplifier, it'd be a heavy box. But-
Maybe do it after, maybe place the box and then put that
And they'd put it right on top of it? Yeah, that would be a
And then
great
take it
way.
off? Yeah.
Because then your connections would just be out of that into the mixer, right? Okay. What we're going to do now is I'm going to teach them how to use their PZM microphones, or their floor mics as you know it. So we're going to have her take the Crown. Is this a Crown? Bartlett Audio. We're going to have her take this microphone and plug it into a channel of her choice, and then we'll tell them how to turn that thing on. And what I mean by turning it on is it needs, this microphone needs what's called phantom power to run.
Okay.
All right, so come back onto this side now. What number did you plug in?
7.
Okay. So now, do you remember how to find the select button on channel 7? That green button in the middle? Go up, up, up. There, push that one. Okay.
So that means that's
And
on.
I'm getting rid of the music. So what that does is it puts us into the menu so that we can see the things we need to see. Now, this is what's called a condenser microphone. This is a condenser microphone. It's not like a dynamic microphone. Like, where's mine at?
That one?
That's a wireless. What did I do with mine?
Oh, the one on your pack?
Oh well, I'll show you mine later. So this one requires power to run, is basically what that means. The board has built-in power to run that microphone. We just got to turn it on. So now that you've hit that select button and it brought up the menu, what we're looking for is what's called 48 volts or phantom power. And that on this board is right there. You see that little button?
Oh yeah, 48 volts.
So how you turn that on is I want you to put your finger on it and hold it for a second. Okay, let off. See how it turned red? And up there you see local input 48 volts. And
So-
it's already working.
So it already knows it's already programmed into the board
Yeah.
what we need.
The controls for
Yes.
it.
So
controls,
how
yeah.
many can you do that with?
As many inputs as you need.
Really?
Yeah.
So we could run 4 floor mics
You
on
could.
4 different channels if we wanted.
Yeah, we
and
only
we
have
could
2
power
right now,
all of
but
them.
yeah.
Now, I will tell you one thing about condenser mics. They're more prone to feedback because of the fact that, I mean, you see that thing picking up from here already,
Yeah.
right? So they can tend to feed back, and I'll show you how to deal with that feedback problem. But it's that sound.
Because the issue is usually always actors that can't talk very loud.
Right.
Um,
If I put this in front of you.
and with floor mics, you usually don't get the muffles and
I
the,
can hear you now.
and the and like all of that as you do with like mic packs. You know, I mean, because like especially my experience with musicals is that you got 8 actors with mic packs, and somebody's mic goes out,
Right,
and then,
that'll help.
and
pick
then
that up.
somebody's is like covered by their.
Or
By the way,
down
if I'm
here,
talking now,
down here.
it doesn't hear me. It only
Well,
hears
'cause
her.
I'm
because
really
it's
close.
facing her.
Yeah.
So it's who's ever's
Test,
But
test,
I
test.
hear it
Feedback.
right on the edge of feedback.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, let's hear what feedback sounds like.
Okay.
It's like an echo.
I'm gonna, everybody quiet for a second. We're gonna let this board do it for us.
We're all going to cringe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Now, here's the funny thing about feedback. Every one of those frequencies that we just heard feedback are on this board, and we can control them for the most part. The best thing to remember is gain is if it's too loud, it's gonna feedback. So we want to find that sweet spot of where it actually is doing its job down there on the floor, being able to pick people up. But maybe it's right on the edge of feedback where we need it to, and then we'll go in and contour the equalizer.
With that yellow thing, the almost yellow.
Well,
the green to the yellow.
So on this board, and let's film this so we can show you. On this board, this control section is, all of this is a touch screen. So if I hit the EQ section, it highlights it. Okay, everybody see that where it highlighted it? All of these parameters here, these 4 parameters. This is a parametric EQ. You can go in and EQ things differently, and it's whether you want to be you have options to be really fine-tuned precise, or you can just go in and grab something. Because I mix audio all the time, if I heard that feedback, I'm going to say it's probably feeding back around 600, 800, somewhere in there. Just interesting. Where was that? So that frequency right there, I can just go in here and grab that button
And lower it.
normally. Oh, I gotta do it here. So I gotta hit it, and then I can just tip that out. Not sure what that is. We'll need to figure out what that is. Whether that's like a cable problem or something, but we'll figure that out. But there's that frequency. So if I get in here, I want it to ring a little bit.
How do you know which button to press or where to tap on the screen? Like how do you know that particular frequency is
your sound person, whoever that is, whether that's one of you guys, I would challenge you to spend some time
with it,
learning what frequencies sound like, because everything from the low end all the way up to that way up here, that's just a frequency spectrum. And you have access to all those frequencies for the most part in this.
And that's from?
Yeah, that section. So just getting rid of that, I'm gonna keep playing.
So 188, you have it on 188 right now.
Yeah, it's probably up higher than that, so I'm gonna get off of that one.
So it's just kind of like,
That's like 4K, I know that's somewhere in there.
So how does frequency work? Like 188 is compared to the other one, like
Well, that's
one
pretty deep.
higher?
Yeah, so sound, again, from the lowest low all the way up to the stuff you can't hear. That's like, and this, most live sound spectrum for the most part is what's 20 hertz on the lowest, so the low stuff, to 20,000 hertz way up here where you, a lot of people have a hard time hearing. It's where your dog starts turning his head.
Yeah.
Right? So
is 188 kind of?
188's like, you think 20 to 20, 188's like somewhere in the middle-ish, right?
Which is what you want. Probably.
Not necessarily want, it's just that's where it is. So if it's feeding back, we just want to find that frequency that it's feeding back on.
So it could feed back at
try to
120,
back it down
maybe.
a tiny bit. But I don't want to back it down too much.
And what were you turning over here?
That was the gain for that channel. I was just boosting it up so I can make it feedback.
So what is the gain? What is
The gain is like, think of it as where this controls the microphone volume that we do. The gain is kind of more like a master volume for that particular channel, right? Or for that input. If we know that we want to be in the yellow, and I'm going to say it like that because it's easier for you guys. If we know that we want to be in the yellow, see I'm tapping that right there. It's not quite in the yellow, right? So that gain is taking me up. See how that's doing that?
Turned it that
That's pretty hot though. So for that microphone, I'd be a little scared to run it like that. Because see, even clicking like that, it's in the red.
So you want to take it down a little bit.
So it's going to be yellow based on whoever's up there talking in it or dancing on the stage or whatever. That's what that mic's
So it should stay in. It should stay in the green until somebody's using the actual mic.
Yeah, you see how far away that is picking up. But then it starts to feed back if I put too much gain in it.
Now this is my question. Do you do those levels before you start the show? Do you adjust it for different people that are up there?
That'd be something you do in tech, right?
Yeah, you would want a tech rehearsal. And the other thing is there's all kinds, this is a big, broad
We're not going to be getting this
conversation.
deep.
No.
Because everything from like humidity in the room to the heat in the room, all of that can affect it. You can build a full mix and then all the people can come in and sit down and the heat changes in the room and your mix is gone. So it's all really, the idea is that we want to find the general areas on your mixer that work pretty much for everything. And then whoever's running this thing needs to be just listening to
Just
either
bump
turn
it
it
down a
down,
tiny bit.
turn it down just a tiny little bit to get rid of that feedback or whatever. If we can teach them in the long run how to EQ things out, that's going to be a big bonus. But that's a deep thing.
And that kind of thing you're not probably doing on the board. If you're only doing it with the iPad, it's a lot more sensitive and it's.
Either way, they're both equal.
Okay.
Whether you're on the iPad or that. Sometimes I would always do it, your initial one, probably on the board because you have a little bit
more
better
control.
fine tune.
Yeah.
But on the iPad,
It'd
you
be more
know,
running.
this is what I was talking about when we were talking about just grabbing the frequency.
He's like, I
Sorry,
don't
I can't remember.
It's okay. I was gonna say if you're spending your whole life trying to memorize passwords,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be good.
So I'm going to log back into this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Maybe we'll do the same thing. That's the iPad. Make that
So we know
easy.
that that's channel 7, right? So I can click 7 and it highlights it on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go over here to this PEQ, and that is the same thing that we see there.
Got
The
it.
nice thing about on here is I can just grab it and move stuff around.
Now the gain, is the gain on here
The
too?
gain is here as well. It's just in a different place. There's
Channel
5
7.
buttons over here.
Right.
The gain is all gain, and the 48 volts or the phantom power for that is always on that top tab. So
whatever
I can
channel
grab
you're on?
that and move that gain around.
So whatever
as well.
channel you're on, it'll come up.
Correct.
Got it.
And everyone, you just want to touch them and highlight it. Make sure it's highlighted. That's a thing for somebody who's mixing sound off of the iPad. Don't let them. You got to stress to them that they got to make sure they're on the channel that they got to make a change to. Because a lot of times they'll tap it and think that they actually got it and it didn't actually change, and then they go in and start messing with stuff and they're on the wrong channel.
Now this can be programmed ahead of time rather than them doing it.
Yeah, you'll do that in tech, like she was talking about. All of those presets will already be done.
Okay. So Julie,
In
you're going to
tech.
be here for tech.
Sunday.
Well, some of it's on some of it's on Saturday. and
Yeah,
some
I'm
of
gonna
it's
be
on-
here that Saturday. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is easier on here a little bit. So if I really wanted to make this thing,
What time was it on Saturday?
Did I say 2 or what did I say? 1?
I got a
You have to
massage
be
at 2
there
o'clock.
at
I
6:30.
know. Is it 6:30 we need to be there? Okay.
No, I have a massage scheduled at 2 o'clock in Prineville.
You do?
Yeah.
No, that's important.
Well, yeah, especially because this body worker is really hard to get into.
see that? Watch. Feedback,
Wow.
gone. But is that exactly gone? It's not bad, actually.
Julie, if Angela is available, we could do it either
Four?
earlier that day or maybe we could do it on
Mine's
Friday.
at 2 p.m. in Prineville is my massage.
Right.
So,
Maybe we can do it earlier then.
yes. Actually, like it's
noon?
all sorts of body work. You
Oh,
know.
that's important.
Well,
Ooh.
yeah, I'm a cheerleader.
That sounded
coach.
better.
Come
Yeah.
on. My body
You could
hurts
still hear it.
all the time.
Oh, I can relate to that.
All right, so what we did
I
now
plug
is
kids in
on
this
that
spot.
particular thing, we plugged in a condenser microphone and we turned on phantom power, and we are in control of that mic now. So what we're going to do right now is, now that we've plugged the mics in, we're going to label the channel on the iPad itself. So you're highlighted in green, so that means you're on channel 1. Now over here, you see this naming thing? If you tap that, you can say mic 1 or whatever you want it to say. And then hit enter.
Oh, Mike is in the man's
MIC.
name.
And it is kind of limited how much space you get, so probably mic 1 fits. Or
Done?
handheld
It's just
one.
done, right?
Yep.
And you can edit it later.
Okay.
And you see,
Now I'm going to highlight.
well, wait
this
a minute,
one.
it didn't
Ooh.
take it, did it?
Yeah, I did.
No, did it? Okay.
Mike, what?
Yep, Mike
Oh,
1.
okay. Now
Mhm.
do the next one. You got this down quick. Okay. Mic 2.
There we go.
Okay.
And you can
named
change
there.
it just by going in there and
Yeah.
renaming it.
You can also do it on the board. So let's show you that as well. So let's say you don't have the iPad connected. So basically what you do is you come in here, and remember this is a touch screen. You touch right there, and you touch it right on where the, let me get back out of that so you can see that easier. See where it says mic 1? I'm going to touch right on mic 1, and then I can go in there and I can change it right there and hit OK, and it'll follow that
Right.
as well.
Except it.
So right now we've set up some microphones, and we actually have 2 microphones that are the same type. So what I'm going to teach them to do right now is copy and paste one channel that's already set up onto another channel that's not set up to reduce their time on how their setup works. So what I want to do is, I know that the good mic that we've already set up is on channel 7. So I hit the select button on channel 7, okay? and I'm going to hold it down, and I come up to this copy button, and I'm going to hit both of those at the same time, and it says copy in that little menu down there, and then I want to paste what I copied onto channel 8. So I hit paste, and then I hit the button, and now they should be set up exactly the same, and they are exactly the same.
Oh, you're looking
Up
at
here.
the grid. What is
Right.
that called?
The EQ
The
section.
EQ section. Okay.
Now the thing that it won't change, and this is for safety for feedback problems, it won't change the gain, this gain button that we set up. If you notice here, when if I go between 7 and 8, the gain is set at like 2 o'clock on there right now. If I hit the 8, it's at noon. It's at 12 o'clock. And the reason is because it won't copy that, because it wants you to
Adjust that.
Yeah, I
You
want you
get
to
some-
adjust
okay.
that so you don't have feedback problems. But everything else, whether we use EQing or compression or all that kind of stuff, it'll copy all that other stuff. So I'm going to just go in and reset. I'm going to set that. So I want to be on 7, which is there, right? And that's floor mic 1, labeled by her. Thank you. And it's at 39 dBs there. I'm going to hit here, and I'm going to go over here and go from 28 to 39. And now they are exactly the same. One thing what we're going to talk about on these particular mics, these are condenser mics that we're working on right now as well. Condenser mics tend to feedback, especially those floor mics. They're going to pick up a lot of noise on the floor, rumble. So I'm going to show you real quick how to get rid of that rumble problem on this EQ thing. What we're going to use is what's called a high pass filter. And what a high pass filter does is it gives you all of the intelligibility and all that kind of stuff that we use in the microphone, all the higher end stuff. But I'm gonna roll out that rumble that we might get from a stage like this. So on that number 7, I'm going to come back here to number 7. On the EQ section, there's this little HPF. That's the high pass filter. Right now, I can just punch that green button in, and you'll notice in here that that purple line that's dipping down right there. That I can move that. Oops, I'm sorry. I punch that in, and I can change that high pass filter. And what that does, let's talk in one of these babies. This one's live. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. So right now, it's got the low end and everything in it. You can hear the low end in my voice. So when I start dialing that up, it's going to get rid of all that low end. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
only going to hear everything above that. So if you ever have
The noise on the stage.
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
from footsteps and stuff like that is typical with these mics. You could roll that off by taking that high pass filter and just
Adjusting
dialing it farther up so it gets rid of all that low.
So this is the up and down button right here. I don't know
Well,
what to
this
call
this
that.
button is you use it for everything.
For everything, yeah.
Yeah.
To turn
so
it
if
up.
you turn
What you're
something
hitting.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you hit something there.
It's like the
you
volume
use-
button,
you
basically.
Use that,
Yeah, gotcha.
You use that. It's a control button.
Control button, thank you.
Right.
I don't know what to
To
call it. I
whichever
know what
finger
it
you
does.
push.
Right.
It could be a widget button.
So I'm gonna go back now that I've made that change. I would need that probably do that to 8 as well, and you notice it's off.
Okay, can I try it?
Yeah, sure. So you're gonna hit the on button, and then you're gonna hit that 100 or just above it.
Oh, the H on it.
Yeah, so it lights it up, and then use that control button.
Well,
to
let's
dial-
talk
to
into
dial
it.
this way.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. How are ya? How's things going? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
talking.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Ooh.
Check, check.
Happy
That one
Halloween.
doesn't.
Oh, you know why?
Why?
You know why? We didn't turn the power on to this microphone.
Oh, well,
You
that's
remember how to do
important.
that?
Oh.
Channel 8.
Channel 8.
Select.
It's
Okay,
not
now
selected.
before here's the problem though. Remember this fader is up, so if we make a change.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
It's gonna feed
we're
that
gonna
like crazy.
we're gonna turn off select
So I
to
would
pull
just
it down.
I would get rid of that.
Okay, so this
hit
is channel.
select.
I'm gonna make it 8. Okay. On. Okay.
Okay, now we got to get out of this mode.
So we were gonna go off.
Hit, no,
Nope.
no, leave that on. Go ahead and leave that on. Hit close to that red button. See how it changed the menu?
Yes,
Okay, now you're in a different section.
yes.
Now you remember what the power.
I think I was in the bathroom when we were
Yep.
doing, yes,
48
48. We
volts.
don't want 48.
No, we
We do want,
That's
so I
the
need to
power
go.
for a condenser.
No,
Oh.
Push
we
and
just
hold
hit
it.
that.
Oh, just press-
we have to
Push
hold
and
it.
hold.
Okay,
it turns
I was
red.
thinking, okay,
Now I see signal there. See that?
right.
So now we would have.
Now you want me to say
Now you can talk.
Happy
So then I'm
holidays,
gonna go
happy
back
Kwanzaa,
to-
Go back to the EQ section. So where would you touch on there
Merry
for the EQ
Christmas, Happy
section?
Halloween.
In the EQ section.
Oh, right.
There you go. Now it
Silent Echo
re-highlights
Theater Company
everything.
is producing a show.
But I don't hear any rumble.
That's because we probably turned it on and dialed it already out. So you could hit that 100 or that
You want to hear what it sounded
149,
like for when it's
hit
totally.
that number, and then dial that back the other way, and you'll hear
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Can you hear it now? You can hear the lower part of my voice now, right?
Just talk normal.
I am talking normal.
Marla
I have-
doesn't have much low. She's from the East Coast.
No, I do have low.
Oh, there
She's
it
got a
is.
low.
Let's put it this way: in the morning, people think I'm a guy. A lot of the time. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said
Well, if somebody's being nice and they'll call me sir, I won't say anything. But
feel-
if they're
I
being,
feel
if
like
they're not
I'm
being
hearing
nice, I'll say
feedback.
first of all I'm a
that.
man and put stuff
Yeah,
both
I
of
do
their
too.
feet.
I do too.
How would I would
Yeah, I
turn
have a
this
pretty
down
low voice.
then?
You could turn it. Yeah, that would be your first step, is to get rid of it first. But that turned it way down, so you can't even hear
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for yellow.
Where'd I go?
Keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep
Remember
talking.
the-
Oh, yeah,
the rule?
don't never stop talking.
There
Never
we
stop
go.
talking. I've now been
Now
given
you
that.
got some feedback.
So
right?
everybody who tells me to
So-
stop talking, I'm going to tell them talk
So
to
this is
talk to myself.
This is what sound
This is
mixing
something down the
is.
road you're going to need to learn
Yeah.
how to hear what that frequency is it's feeding back.
Yeah, my
and
voice does
where
sound a
that
lot
is
higher,
in
and I
there.
have not changed my voice at all. So,
So,
That's because
but
we-
this is still at 38.
right.
That's right,
Don't
and
we
it
want
should
to be
be.
at 48? Oh.
No, that if you did 48, it would
Be
feed
really
back.
feedbacky.
Right, correct.